What's going on, everyone? Jose G here for Sportskeeda Wrestling. Tonight on the Debrief, we're going to be covering everything that went down on the go-home show for WWE NXT. Plus, we're going to be covering the entire predictions for WWE NXT Takeover in Your House 2021. All that and more coming up on tonight's The Debrief.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
All right, guys, welcome to The Debrief. I'm your host, Jose G. Next to me is the top Chico himself, Rico el Glorioso. Welcome to tonight's Debrief. How are you, Rico? Uh-oh. Your audio.
I'm doing very well,
There
Jose.
you go.
Fresh off an amazing weekend celebrating your birthday, by the way, in case nobody gave him some love. Show some love to Jose. We had an amazing weekend, got to spend some time with you, but we also had an amazing week of wrestling, so I can't wait to cover with you, bro.
That's right, guys. So tonight we're going to be covering what went down on NXT, plus our take and previews on this weekend's takeover in your house. Before we get started, guys, make sure you are following us on all of our social media. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. Make sure you're sharing tonight's show in your favorite wrestling group. Tag your friends in the comment section. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell so you never, ever miss a post or a live stream or whenever we drop brand new content. We have daily shows. We have Monday Night Raw, Legion of Raw with Vince Russo and Dr. Chris Featherstone. Friday nights, a Dirty Dutch Mantel and Rick Ucchino going on SmackDown. And on Wednesday nights, yours truly, Enrico El Glorioso, talking about AEW and NXT. And this is the third week in a row that AEW is on a Friday night, Rico. Did you see the ratings for this past Friday before we jump into NXT?
Right.
And
I saw and this NXT beat AEW, but it's because, of course, AEW is all the way at the end of the week after SmackDown, after the NBA playoffs. So it's going to be a rough few weeks here until we wrap up the NBA season. But hey, we had an amazing Double or Nothing pay-per-view, but just right on the heels of that, we have what's shaping up to be another spectacular NXT pay-per-view, getting a little bit old school once again with Takeover in Your House this Sunday, June 13th. It is shaping up to be one hell of a card, especially after what happened yesterday.
I'll tell you, man, my 90s heart has been warmed up with seeing Doc Hendricks plugging in the promos, and then we're getting Tom Pettinghill to host in your house. So this is shaping up to be an amazing card. But let's jump into NXT this week, man, because it was the go-home show, and it certainly did feel like a go-home show for TakeOver, especially with the two monumental championship matches that were added onto the card. First, we have a winner-takes-all tag team matchup. It's a six-man tag where MSK and Bronson Reed are putting their tag team titles and the North American titles on the line against Legado del Fantasma. This is going to be one hell of a banger of a match. What did you think of the lead up to this? Is Legado, do you think they bit more than they can chew, or is this Legado's time?
Oh, I know we've been talking about it for a while, especially fresh off the heels of Santos Escobar losing the Cruiserweight Championship. We were talking about, there could be a time where all three of those guys in Legado Fantasma have gold. And voila, here we have the prime opportunity for all three guys to get gold at the same time. But it's what happened after the promo that got me thinking it might not happen. Because as we finished with the promo between MSK, Bronson Reed, and Legado Fantasma, out comes your new favorite theme music, Hero, facing down against MSK and Bronson Reed. So it makes me think this might not be the only winner-takes-all match we have. After In Your House, I would not be surprised if we get another one with Hit Row versus MSK and Bronson Reed. So we're starting to see those factions, as you keep talking about, more factions in NXT. Now we have another one positioned to be right there in case, one of these teams loses on Sunday night. We have possibly another team that could take all the gold too. So that kind of got me going like, okay, first of all, it could go to Legado del Fantasma with the great work they've been putting on. But as soon as you introduce a possible feud between Hit Row and MSK and Bronson Reed, I'm like, ooh, I'm kind of more intrigued with that one. So let's keep that going.
I'm going to have to strongly disagree with you, Rico. And I'm going to have to say that it's more appealing to me, the Legado del Fantasma versus Hit Row feud, just because they're both so out there and dynamic in personalities. You got Hit Row, the record, the gangsters, the rappers, all about the music, all about that swag. Then you got the Legado. They want to represent Lucha Libre, el Imperio de Lucha Libre, so they're looking to do something completely different with their style of wrestling. MSK, you know how I feel about MSK.
I know how you feel about them, yeah.
You know how I feel about MSK. But I think that Legado versus Hit Row should be good, and I really think that Legado might take it this Sunday. But we'll jump into the predictions later in the show, so make sure you guys stick in and stick throughout the show, because later we're going to go through our predictions. And just giving a couple shout-outs to some of the loyal viewers. Rorito watching us on YouTube. Jose G, I think that Legado will go nowhere. Dang, no love for Legado. Steven Chambers saying winner takes all 6-man is going to be a great match. I believe it's Phantasma times to win. 1-1. Kevin Davis joining us on Facebook. Thanks for watching. Thank you for tuning in. And Rorito also says Bronson is the bomb. So we got a mixed crowd between these two teams. So just stick around for later in the predictions, and we'll talk a little bit more about that matchup. Another monumental matchup that was announced for NXT Takeover in your house is the $1 Million Championship ladder match. Ted DiBiase breaking out the $1 Million belt, same design and everything. I thought it was going to be like a revamped design, but no, it's okay. Oh. I'm not mad at it. It's okay. But now we have essentially these two heels, LA Knight and Cameron Grimes, going to be going at it in a ladder match to determine who's going to be the next $1 Million champion. How did you feel about this promo? I think this was one of the most strongest promos for Cameron Grimes. Actually, probably the best promo that Cameron Grimes has done.
I enjoyed the whole bit from beginning to end. From they had like kind of like an MTV Cribs kind of thing, when they were showing first LA Knight's home with the two girls, and then they showed Cameron Grimes, who was he obviously doesn't know what to do with his money, talk about smoking cigars and drinking whiskey every time he puffed the cigar and drinking whiskey. Like, oh, God, who drinks this stuff?
I love it. I
love it though. So he's obviously not accustomed to the $1 million lifestyle, but we did get to see a preview of this belt, because we did see this belt at WrestleCon, which I thought was awesome. Having seen it the weekend of WrestleMania and then seeing it here, that's going to be on the line during NXT Takeover in your house. I think this is going to be an amazing match. I'm still split. I haven't decided who's going to win this, but like you said, this was a great promo from both guys.
Absolutely,
from beginning to end. It's great to see Ted DiBiase, even though he's getting up there in age, so he took him a little second to remember what he was getting his point across. But he definitely got saved by LA Knight and Cameron Grimes, especially when they brought out the ladder. Cameron Grimes getting up there. All right, Ted, I see the ladder. I see the ladder that I'm going to climb, but what am I reaching for? What am I reaching for, Ted? And then having these...
That's a really good impression.
Wannabe bodyguards, kind of like Brinks guys, coming in with a bulletproof vest and then with the little briefcase. I thought this was great. I'm not mad at the, not having a revamped design, especially after, again, we got to see it. I think this whole story is going to be fun. Like, I'm just enjoying this, whether it's LA Knight or if Cameron Grimes takes it to the moon. I'm really enjoying that. We're finally getting that payoff that we talked about. Why are you going to keep bringing Ted DiBiase if there's not going to be a payoff? We're seeing it here with this ladder match. I think this is going to be a fun one to watch.
This is definitely going to be one to watch. Possibly, it could probably steal the night. I mean, I don't know. There's so many good matches. Every single match it has a potential to be a banger of a match. But again, so we got some mixed reactions here. Rorito watching us on YouTube saying LA Knight will kick Grimes's butt. Let's see here. Steven Chambers is saying, I can see no one winning the ladder match. DiBiase screws them both. May see the debut of Diamond Mine with DiBiase managing. Pretty cool. I like that.
That'd be a good idea.
Mike Rainey is saying on Facebook, Grimes wins against LA Knight. DiBiase leaves with Grimes. And Rorito saying Grimes is a wannabe.
He's learning. He got all this money really quickly. He doesn't know how to be a millionaire just yet. He's still learning, and he needs somebody like Ted DiBiase to show him how to do it correctly.
Guys, and if you're just joining us right now, and if you're watching us for the first time, make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell for watching us on YouTube. That way you never, ever miss when we have a brand new video or a new live stream just like this. And also make sure you're sharing tonight's show in your favorite wrestling group. Tag your friends in the comment section. Sound off in the comments to let us know, what are you thinking about this weekend's NXT Takeover in your house? It's looking like a pumped up show. It's looking like it's going to be a great show. Looks like a sleeper show because it just all kind of came together at the last moment. But nonetheless, it's going to be a good show.
Oh yeah, and especially one of the matchups that we've been anticipating for a long time. We are going to get the one-on-one matchup between Mercedes Martinez versus Zio Lee, and we got to see the dominance of Mercedes Martinez, how she needs to be booked. She's been needed to be booked like this the entire time.
That was great. That was great.
Even though, she gets attacked by Zio Lee, winds up throwing her away, like just shrugging her off, but gets in the ring still with the match against somebody we don't know who it is. I didn't even catch the name because as soon as the match started, it was over. And Mercedes telling Zio Lee, you picked the wrong one. You picked the wrong one to mess with. So, just getting me even more excited for this matchup between this newly, found Zio Lee, even teaming up in with Mei Ling and Boa in Tian Sha versus who should be this dominant force in Mercedes Martinez. So I'm looking forward to that matchup.
Yeah, this is the version of Mercedes Martinez that we should have always gotten from the get. And I'm glad that we got to see that last night. So quick side note here, we had Poppy drop in last night, who happened to drop her album live on NXT on that moment, and it's an NXT inspired album. But during that whole, that whole interaction between Poppy and Dexter and Triple H and William Regal, Poppy, receives a nice little drawing from Dexter Loomis, kind of be like, welcome to NXT. He's not a man of words, but he shows you a little piece of artwork. Poppy loved it. Poppy ended up hugging Dexter Loomis for Indy Hartwell to walk in and catch them both hugging, and then she goes away. The love story continues. Are you enjoying the tears of Hartwell on a weekly basis?
They still continue to make it interesting and entertaining every single week. And of course, why not use Poppy? Even though that was kind of like a real weird, old man finding out new technology segment with Triple H, like, oh, you can hit a button and you just make the album drop? You mean it's dropped right now? It's on Spotify, it's on iTunes, it's on Apple Music. God. Like,
you're telling me with the push of a button that your album will be on the internet.
And this William Regal just back there like, yeah, that's how this works. And just him being that old man Triple H, I thought was funny. Poppy just keeps reminding me, like, she feels like she would fit in a lot more into the storyline with like Alexa Bliss and Lily and Shayna Baszler and all this craziness. Just kind of like her demeanor. Yes, it dropped live. And then, of course, with her being more involved later on. But, good for her. NXT has a great relationship with Poppy. Some of the music is great. I haven't checked out her album just yet. I will. But I thought this was a great tie-in into that storyline, man. You would not expect that to have been the outcome of this whole thing, especially in the interview earlier where we had the way being interviewed and Indy is still in her head and basically saying she watches NXT. He picked up the headphones. He listened. He even cried. That means he still loves me. I have to go find him. And that leaded to this exact moment where Poppy's hugging Dexter Loomis to then add, again, just another twist, another wrinkle into this storyline. I feel for them, man. I'm still hoping. I'm still waiting for that happy moment, where it comes together and Index is finally a thing. But for now, we're still going to have to wait. And there's still some trials and tribulation in this relationship.
Guess we're going to have to wait until next week's episode of Index. All right, man. So we had this one-on-one match, Ember Moon, Dakota Kai, that ended up with some shenanigans because, Raquel decided to attack or Ember Moon decided to attack Raquel on the outside, but then Raquel went inside to get some retribution. The match ended in a DQ. These two are going to be facing each other on Sunday. Ember Moon's looking to become a 2-time NXT Women's Champion, but can she take on the complete dominance of Raquel Gonzalez? We'll find out. But overall, what I got from that segment is that Raquel's probably going to win this. But it was the two eclipses that really stunned me, just because the one that she countered from the chokeslam and then the other one that hit on her, Raquel is a champ by taking those eclipses.
Oh, yeah. And she sold the second one like a champ. When she took the actual eclipse and just took it and just fell back, she's selling that. Ember is a potential threat, but it's still too early, man. You cannot take this title off of Raquel Gonzalez just yet. But what I did find interesting is, when we mentioned the part about Poppy, so the whole thing was Candice LeRae came out to the ring and she called out Poppy, for basically stealing Indy's man. But Poppy comes out and she says, I don't wrestle, but I know somebody who does. And of course, the person who she's been doing all the entrance music for, Io Shirai, makes her return to NXT, laying out Candice LeRae. But again, this is why I love NXT. After this beatdown happens, she's walking back, and this is when Raquel Gonzalez is coming out, and she eyes her. Like, it's, that's still not done. It's still not a closed chapter between Io Shirai and Raquel Gonzalez. So they're already planting the seeds, which is why NXT, the timing of everything that they do is just, it's always important.
Everything has a purpose.
It wasn't just Io beating down Candice LeRae. So we'll probably have a match, Io versus Candice, which is going to be a great match. But it sets that seed there too. Like, I'm back. I'm still not done with you. So even though I'm going to handle this business, I'm not done with you yet. I still want that championship. So I thought the whole thing was great. But yeah, it's just really set up Ember Moon to be a possible threat for Sunday. Just can't happen just yet. We still haven't had the betrayal by Dakota Kai yet. Even though she did lose to Ember Moon, we still didn't get the betrayal yet. So we still have that on the back burner. We know Dakota Kai versus Raquel is coming soon. But right now, at least Ember Moon is looking strong by being able to take out the champ and her selling that eclipse to show that even if she doesn't win on Sunday, she is on the, she is up there ready to be an NXT champion, NXT Women's Champion once again.
Oh, completely agree. And especially that, how Raquel's been so dominant over these last few months, ever since becoming NXT Women's Champion. They're doing a smart thing right now with Raquel. And I think they're also doing a really smart thing of putting up with Ember, because Ember's a veteran too. Ember's been in the game for a long time. So if anyone's going to make her look amazing, it's going to be Ember.
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. We also had the closeout for the show. For NXT, we had the face-off between all 5 members of the Fatal 5-Way, Pete Dunne, Johnny Gargano, Kyle O'Reilly, and Karrion Kross and Adam Cole. And this was very interesting because Adam Cole, everybody had their little promo. Everybody's talking. Everybody's giving their, quick minute before, chaos erupts. And then Adam Cole is nowhere to be seen, but he comes up on screen. And he gives his piece. He cuts off. Then everybody starts attacking Karrion Kross. First, Karrion Kross is wrecking everybody. He's suplexing people left and right. But, the numbers getting caught up to him. Then at the end, Adam Cole comes out of nowhere, super kicks him from behind, and then gives him the last shot, standing tall with the NXT title. Could we see a new reign for Adam Cole come Sunday? I don't know. This is a whole different level of Adam Cole.
If there's a time to pull that trigger, it would be now. Is just the timing.
Wow.
I just love this. I love this whole segment because even at the beginning, Pete Dunne is still involved with other storylines because we did have Oney Lorcan versus Austin Theory. So again, 2 guys that are side stories of this whole thing. Oney Lorcan being aligned with Pete Dunne and Austin Theory being part of the way with Johnny Gargano. They had a big brawl at NXT earlier in the day. They did have the match where Oney Lorcan defeated Austin Theory, even though we had Pete Dunne and Johnny Gargano ringside. Here they come at the end of the show, and just again, the timing was just so great with Kyle O'Reilly coming out, with Johnny Gargano out of nowhere and then standing on top of the table, and just the whole segment, just Pete Dunne coming in, blasting Karrion Kross, and just everybody looked like they had an opportunity to stand tall, but at the end of it all, Karrion Kross stood tall, only to be sidelined by the intelligence of one Adam Cole, baby. So if you're going to do it, if you are going to give him one last reign before he eventually goes over to, Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown, this is the time to do it. But man, it's going to be really tough to take out Karrion Kross, especially when you have 3 other guys in the match with you. So it is extremely hard to pick one out of these 5 guys, because it's 20% chance that you're going to be right, 80% chance you're going to be wrong in this matchup. And so it can go anyway, but I love this whole timing of this segment with each person hitting their moves at a certain spot. And then just that at the end, you thought Karrion Kross was standing tall, and then you just see
Boom.
a foot come out of nowhere, just super kicking Karrion Kross, and Adam Cole, baby, standing tall. Oh, this is going to be one hell of a match. They need to have, again, like we talked about, like with Stadium Stampede, have multiple cameras so we can see what everybody's doing, because it's going to be hard to focus on all 5 guys in this one match.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. But it's interesting because, Adam Cole, he is owed tons of receipts. He's going to get everything that he did
gonna go after him
over the last 2 weeks. He's going to get it on Sunday. So he has it. If Karrion Kross has a target on his back because he's NXT champion, Adam Cole has the second biggest target in that match. So
and when he called everybody out too, Johnny Gargano beat him. Pete Dunne beat him. This other guy, not even worth my time. So it's only you and me. Like, he completely just brushed off Kyle O'Reilly, not even calling him out by name, which is a little subtle, just a subtle bit, but just adds so much more to that character of Adam Cole. I love it. Everybody's going to be gunning for both of these guys when that bell rings on Sunday.
All right, we got James Espanto Fernando Taguay. What's up, Chicos? Let's see here. He's catching up with everyone. He's catching up with everyone over here. Just reading some of your comments, guys. He says he wants Io versus Saray or Starry. I'm sure he meant Saray. I'm sure he meant Saray.
Oh, that'd be another great match.
Listen, Mike Rainey's asking.
We haven't even seen Saray. Yeah, we haven't seen her in a while.
Why wasn't Finn added to that match? Maybe Finn doesn't want to be in that match.
It's just more. Well, the speculation is he might not be long in NXT. He might be going over to a red-colored brand sooner rather than later, but still remains to be seen. So that might be why we don't see him.
And guys, we love you guys when you guys are watching. So make sure you are hitting that like button and share the link in your favorite wrestling group. James Espanto saying 3-time champ, baby. And then we also have Steve Chambers saying Cross should retain. NXT Cross versus Walter. We've talked about that plenty of times here about the possibility of Cross versus Walter. But with that being said, Rico, let's jump into NXT Takeover in your house predictions. So, guys, if you guys are just tuning in right now, make sure you are hitting the like button, hitting that share button, and I want to hear your thoughts on your picks for this week's NXT Takeover in your house. We got 5 blockbuster matches to start off. We will start off with Zayali versus Mercedes Martinez. Zayali has got a gripe with Mercedes from over 4 or 5 years ago, back at the Mae Young Classic. Mercedes kind of embarrassed her. Mercedes is, the veteran. But you've got to believe that Zio Lee is going to go over on this one because, they're pushing her. She has the heel turn. She has the Tian Sha. She's got supernatural powers. She went through that Kung Fu training. Yes, Zio Lee, right?
It would do such a huge disservice to her to not have her get this win. Like, this is her time to get that one back on Mercedes Martinez. They can have a rubber match after this, and that's fine. But yes, you put so much work into rebuilding Zio Lee. This right here is the make or break point. If she does not beat Mercedes Martinez, it was all a waste of time. You have her destroy Mercedes Martinez, even after what happened on Tuesday night, her being brushed off to the side and then having Mercedes just, squash whoever was in the ring. This makes a statement. Zayali defeating the veteran Mercedes Martinez, even after that loss in the original Mae Young Classic. This will put her right there at the top of the card. Like, this would be why she could be a legitimate threat to Raquel Gonzalez. So you need to do it right here. You need to do right by her. You need to do right by the storyline. If you mess this up, it was all a waste of time. As much as we love Mercedes Martinez, this is the one opportunity to really push Zayali where she deserves.
Agreed.
Give her this chance. Give her this one.
Absolutely agreed. And Steven Chambers is saying Zayali upsets Mercedes. There's some speculation Mercedes moves to the main roster.
Please, if after what happened on Monday, please have her replace like whatever they're trying to do with Shayna Baszler, because how do you mess that up? But
how did you not like that, Rico? You telling me you didn't like the supernatural ending to Monday Night Raw? Are you telling me you didn't like Shayna having things fall from the sky and Lily having just appearing randomly in the mirror of the locker room and not there anymore?
She's an MMA fighter, Jose. She was one of the most dominant NXT women's champions of all time, fresh off the heels of the undefeated Asuka. And this is what she's resorted to. So I hope Mercedes doesn't have the same fate, but she can do, again, you can build her to be a powerhouse just like you did this Tuesday. Do that on the main roster, and you have somebody to compete against all these other talented women.
All right. Well, we're not talking about Raw.
We're not talking about Raw,
NXT. We're talking about NXT. And guys, sound off in the comments or comments on screen. Make sure you're chiming in. Let us know who you think is going to win between Zio Lee and Mercedes Martinez. This leads me to our next match because everything else is a title match. So let's start off with the $1 Million Championship ladder match between Cameron Grimes, who's wanted to take the $1 Million legacy to the moon, and LA Knight is looking to continue to grow in NXT and carry the $1 Million legacy to a whole nother level. How do you see this, Rico?
Oh man, out of all the matches, this is the toughest one to pick because it could legitimately go either way. But you know what? I've stuck with him this far. I'm gonna go for Cameron Grimes. I want to see him hit a cave-in from the top of the ladder to the mat onto LA Knight and have this, have his opportunity to finally be the one to have the support of one Ted DiBiase Sr. So he's gonna take this $1 Million championship to the moon, Jose.
Let me talk to you, Rico. Let me talk to you. See, the fact of the matter is, come Sunday night, LA Knight is going to climb the $1 Million ladder. He's going to reach for that $1 Million briefcase. And guess what? He's going to be your new $1 Million champ. And that's just a fact. That's just a fact, Jack.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited for that, man. They're going to do something crazy in that one. I wouldn't be surprised if I think what Steven Chambers brought up, somehow, Diamond Mine shows up or somebody else wins that championship because Ted DiBiase screwed them out of it, because everybody has a price, Jose, and there'll be no better ending than neither one of these guys winning as much as they want to.
Man, it should be a fun match. I'm looking forward to this match. Let's see what the Sportskeeda verse is saying. Let's see here. James Esponto, he's saying to the moon. He's a Cameron Grimes guy.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. And guys, keep sound off in the comments. Let us know who is your pick, Cameron Grimes or LA Knight, for your $1 Million championship ladder match. And that match is going to be fire, man. All right, man. We also have the winners takes all 6-man tag team match. MSK and Bronson Reed putting their titles, the NXT tag team titles and the North American Championship, on the line against former Cruiserweight champion Santos Escobar and the rest of Legado del Fantasma, Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Phoenix, right? Joaquin Phoenix. That's it. No, that's
Joaquin Wild. Joaquin Phoenix is an actor.
Phoenix is the actor. Yeah, right. Joaquin Wild. Dude, right now it is Legado del Fantasma's time. It is time to put the first Mexicano nacido and the North American title picture to not only bring prestige to the North American title, but to bring prestige and honor to the Lucha Libre style.
No, sir. Jose, come on, man. They are the hottest tag team going right now in WWE, especially in NXT, MSK. And when you put them alongside the colossal Bronson Reed, bro, Bronson weighs as much as the entire Legado Fantasma by himself. So the power game is in their side. The speed is in their side, even though Joaquin Wild, a.k.a. the Joker Phoenix, and Raul Mendoza are pretty quick themselves. You cannot beat these rascals just yet. But if there is going to be a way for them to take the title off Bronson Reed, this might be it. I just don't see it happening just yet. So I still want to see MSK and Bronson Reed versus Hit Row, and then have them go against Legado afterwards.
No. It's going to be Legado defending against Hit Row, and that's how it's going to happen. But this brings me to my next point. I have a feeling that the fans are slowly turning on MSK. Steve Chambers, wonder why fans are not liking MSK. And this has been very evident in the last few weeks in the CWC. The NXT universe is not down with MSK, bro. They do it. One thing, the NXT universe, and we've been there live in person, we will let you know if we don't like you, even if you're a babyface. If you suck, if you're just doing the same old stuff, they will let you know. Mm-hmm. And that crowd in the CWC is not behind MSK. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and it's understandable because it felt like, again, they were forced really quickly to the top of the card, coming straight off of their time in TNA as the Rascals, outside of with Trey Miguel, who remained over there in TNA. So they got pushed really quickly. They won the Dusty Cup right in their debut. So it makes sense for fans to be a little bit heated towards them. But this is a good opportunity, again, to turn them heel if they need to at this point. The only thing is, we have way too many heel tag teams at this point. So unless you find a way,
babies besides Breezango,
Breezango and Drake and Killian Dane are the only baby faces. No.
And Ciampa and Toothless Timmy.
Champion Toothless Timmy. If you can, if you consider him still, a baby face, even though technically I think that's going to be the one that's going to turn heel first, and when all that drama happens. But it just feels like the crowd is a little turning against him just because he got pushed too hard. But this is the perfect time to do a heel turn with them. For however they decide to do it. NXT, they can figure it out. Triple H and William Regal, they're smart, and HBK, they can figure out a great way to turn them heels. Maybe make them kind of like D-Generation X. Make them a tweener. Give them some sort of edge to them, because right now they're like pure babyface. Give them a little bit of an edge to them. Make them, give them a little heelish tactics. Maybe that's how they win and retain their titles, by nefarious means. So that way they can start slowly getting to that point where, we start seeing a bit of a heelish side to them. And maybe the fans will get back on the sides, because that's how we are in NXT. When we were there in the crowds too, we like a good heel if you do it in the right way. Mm-hmm. This could be a way that they try to get the crowd back in their favor.
I don't know, man. NXT universe has been notorious. Once they turn on you, it's really hard to get them back. Just look at Kona Reeves.
Oh man,
that's
where in the world is Kona Reeves?
Reeves.
He's the finest guy in catering right now.
Oh. All right, man. Moving on to another championship match. We have the NXT Women's Championship. Raquel Gonzalez defending her title against one former NXT champion, who, by the way, I don't think she ever lost because she relinquished it to an injury, right?
Ooh,
she never lost her title because she had to relinquish it because of the injury. So she's looking to become a two-time NXT Women's Champion, a championship that she never lost. Okay, against a dominating Raquel Gonzalez. Big mommy cool all day, every day. I love you, Ember. You're one of my favorites. I'm sorry, mommy, but right now, Raquel is on another level, and you know, and I'm not saying that you're not on her level, but it's just Raquel is on another level.
Yeah, Raquel's not losing. It's not happening. That's all we have to say.
Yep. We got James Espanto commenting on the Thick Boy Summer. It's going to be a tsunami at NXT in your house. Kenny Rivera, Kenny the Penny, watching us from New York City. Thick Boy Summer.
Yes,
sir. So it looks like everybody across the board is agreeing that it's going to be Raquel Gonzalez. Stephen Chambers saying, I don't see anyone beating Raquel Gonzalez. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be Io, and I don't think it's going to be Io.
Yeah, I didn't even think that. I think really the only person, I can see Raquel going over to Raw SmackDown sooner than later. If they're going to do it, then this is possibly the good time to give it to Zio Lee. Like, you're pushing the hell out of her. Give a dominant win against Mercedes, who went toe to toe with Raquel Gonzalez.
Maybe for SummerSlam takeover.
Yeah, give it to Zio Lee, or maybe we see another more in depth into what Tien Shaw is about. Find out more about Melee.
Or probably we'll probably get the heel turn from Dakota Kai, or the even more heel turn from Dakota Kai, and that might be the matchup that we get for the SummerSlam. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
But right now nobody's really in line to beat Rico.
Yeah, not quite yet. All right, guys, moving on to the main event of the evening. We have the fatal 5-way match. It is Karrion Kross going up against Johnny Gargano, Kyle O'Reilly, Pete Dunne, and Adam Cole, baby. It's one versus all, or in the way that I'm viewing this. See, this is the way I'm looking at this. Mm-hmm. The four of them are trapped in the ring with Kross.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the place you really want to be in. But after last night's debacle and everything that happened, and Adam Cole standing tall, one's got to think, is Adam Cole going to be the one? Because he doesn't have to pin Karrion Kross. He can pin Kyle. He can pin Pete. He can pin Johnny. It doesn't matter. And these are all high caliber guys. Pete Dunne, one of the longest reigning NXT UK champions of all time, of all WWE. Adam Cole, longest NXT reign in company history. Johnny Gargano, Johnny Takeover, Johnny Wrestling. He's known for his fantastic matches at Takeover. And we've already seen what Kyle O'Reilly can do. He's been in the main event, killed it twice with Finn Balor. So this match is going to be a banger. But this can go any way. Kross only has a 20% chance of winning. But with that 20%, he's still going to retain.
Jose, you got to remember, he's a genetic freak. So he knows that he can beat, he can beat all four guys. So you take that 20% and you add the 80% in which he knows he's going to win. So that's 100% chance Karrion Kross walks out of NXT TakeOver in your house as champion. As much as I want it to be Adam Cole, baby, he is way too smart to win the championship because he stood tall on Tuesday. If it wasn't for him standing tall, I thought he would have had an outside chance. But the way that he manipulated everybody to attacking themselves, it's not going to happen. It's going to boil down to Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole taking each other out, and it's going to be really a triple threat, essentially, between one Johnny Gargano, Pete Dunne, and Karrion Kross. And the most beautiful sight we could have is have Karrion Kross stack all four guys on top of each other and pin them all, just to double up on what Roman Reigns did.
Oh, dude.
So
can you imagine if he does that? If he stacks all four guys on top of him and pins all four of them, and just looks at the camera, and he's like, Roman.
Call him out. Call out Roman Reigns. Your time as head of the table is soon coming to an end. Tick tock. And just cut to black after that. Bro, how dominant would that make Karrion Kross look? But I honestly, I think
pray, baby.
It's gonna come close, but I think it's gonna be Karrion Kross pinning Johnny Gargano for him to retain this championship. And honestly, we talked about it before, and we brought it up earlier. We saw, I think Steven Chambers also brought it up in the chat. There's only one guy in NXT that potentially dethrone the Killer Kross, that is Karrion Kross, and that's the Ring General. Bring over Walter, baby. We need Walter to finally dethrone Karrion Kross. But until that happens, he is not losing that title, no matter how many guys you put in the ring with them.
So we all agree that Kross is going to retain, but you're picking Johnny Gargano to eat the pin.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with Cole eating the pin.
You're gonna do that to Adam Cole, baby?
I'm gonna go with Cole eating the pin, just because
he deserves it after.
Yeah, that's the huge receipt. That's the receipt. He gets pinned on that match.
That's fair. Yeah, that'd be fair.
All right, man. Let's see here. Anthony Bruno is saying Adam Cole wins on that one. Steven Chambers, Cole winning? No. My granny, I don't see Kross losing his title. So people don't want Cole, but people don't really just see what's going on with Kross losing his title because it's not time. It's not time yet. It's
the funniest thing. Like, this is the one match you think he could potentially lose with only a 20% chance of winning, but we're all pretty much believing that he's gonna retain. Yet the one match that's 3 different titles is the one that could go either way, with the winner takes all between MSK, Bronson Reed, and Legado Fantasma. I just think that's crazy. That just shows how well they're booking Karrion Kross. When you can say, I'm putting 4 guys in the ring with you, but I'm pretty sure Karrion is still going to win just because of how dominant he's been.
Exactly. But some of it, you have to kind of really think about, like Adam Cole's promo last week. Just because of everything, how he said it and how he did. He's like, this company has done everything to make you feel special. You have the smoke machines, you have the lights, you have the music, you have the entrance, you have the girl. You know what they do for me to make me feel special? They ring the freaking bell. What? That was what.
He's the dorkiest guy I've ever seen. If you ever watch any of the up, down, down stuff, he is the dorkiest guy. But you put that light on him, you put the camera, and you tell him you're Adam Cole, baby. Fire. Give him a mic, and he will spit hot fire. He's the 5 greatest rappers of all time. Adam Cole, Adam Cole, Adam Cole, Adam Cole, Adam Cole, because he spits hot fire, baby.
Oh man. Well, guys, so this was a fun time talking about NXT Takeover in your house and this week's takeover, this week's NXT. We really appreciate you joining us for this for this little bit. Make sure you are subscribing to all of our content, especially on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never ever miss a post or a live video or a new video that drops on a daily basis. You have the daily news roundups, the top stories every afternoon at 6 p.m. here on Facebook and on YouTube. We also have our top 5 videos, interviews recently. My Chuck Palumbo video just dropped, so make sure you check out my interview with Chuck Palumbo. We also have our podcast, so make sure you are subscribing. If you can't watch all of our content, listen to our content by going to Spotify or iTunes. Subscribe to Sportskeeda Wrestling and give us a 5-star rating and a review on all of our podcasts. If you're watching us on Facebook, hit the like button, share button, and share in your favorite wrestling group. All right? So, guys, remember, when you're watching wrestling, Rico, what is the most important thing they can do when they are watching wrestling?
Come on, guys. Enjoy it. Enjoy wrestling.